you are a blogger, then here is a reason to worry, as rules are being finalized to supplement India's IT Amendment Act 2008, indirectly allowing Indian government to control content being published on the internet. Blogs publish content and have user-generated content in the form of comments. At one level, they are a publisher and at another, an intermediary. The guidelines clearly defines the blogger only as a user. But now the IT Act plans to make a blogger an intermediary.
This is a wrong thing for the Indian government to do. Today, sites are blocked and we have no idea why they've been blocked. Quite often, we don't even know that they've been blocked. So all we're asking for is some amount of transparency and accountability here.
Soon to follow, social network sites will face the wrath of this act, as government plans to take full control over what you see, publish or access on the internet.
The kind of rules that China has seen and Egypt has seen, India is not. India is a democracy, and pretty sure the right thing will prevail.
The blogging community does not seem happy with this move by the government's amending IT Act, as after this, internet would no longer be the place where one can speak whatever's on their mind. At the moment, there is no implementation of the amendment, but the amended IT Act sure suppresses the right to freedom of speech via publishing one's view over the internet. The real question is that, is it a move to make internet a better place, or the government plans to take total control of the 21st century biggest tool of expression?
Okay, this is going to have an impact on everyone. Should the government really regulate blogging? And if so, doesn't that question the very basic tenet of why people blog? We've got Nikhil Pahwa, founder Medianama, Pranesh Prakash from Center of Internet and Society, and TV host Kim Jagtiani. Kim, let me start with you. What do you feel about this clampdown?
Well, I mean, blogging in general is really exciting. You know, there's no rules, there's no protocol. That's the whole point. You feel something, you say it, and that's so liberating. So if we're talking about locking down, I think the government can and will anyway, you know, check up on what's going on. But to regulate content, I think that's a little too much.
Right.
Going too far.
Nikhil, let's come to you. At the heart of this whole debate is, what are blogs really? Are they intermediaries, or in a sense are they publishers? Because in a sense they publish content, but the government would like to believe that they are intermediaries, and which is why they're now seeking to regulate. How would you take this question?
Well, what the guidelines seem to suggest is that bloggers are essentially users. They're not even classifying them as intermediaries. In that context, they are being held liable for whatever is being written, even by users, in terms of comments. But this is about more than just blogs. This is applicable to all forms of websites as well. There's a mobile applications marketplace owned by an Indian company called Mobango.com, which has also been blocked recently. Now, my main issue is that I don't know why these sites have been blocked, and there is no public information on who's taking the decision, who's complained, and on what basis they've made this decision.
Right.
All I'm asking for is there needs to be more transparency in the way they're operating.
Okay, let's bring in Pranesh now. Pranesh, this is not a story that's so new, from the respect that we've seen other countries have this debate. It's about the kind of content that should be accessible publicly. Do you think at Center of Internet and Society there's a solution from the bloggers' end?
First off, I'd like to clarify that this isn't just about bloggers. So I'd just like to repeat what Nikhil said. This is about all websites, and intermediaries through the recent regulations, the draft regulations, which haven't yet been notified, are being required to basically do the policing on behalf of the government and on behalf of everyone, and we find that objectionable. So
right, Nikhil, let's get you in here. Technically, what can the government block a website or a blog for? Practically everything. They're saying you can be blocked for content that's abusive, harmful, threatening, blasphemous, objectionable, defamatory. I mean, by some ground or the other, I think practically the government can shut down any blog in this country.
Right, and that's exactly the problem. There's enough potential for misuse. They can shut down sites and blogs for annoyance, for something that is objectionable. My point is, who decides what is annoying or what is objectionable? shouldn't civil society be involved? Shouldn't there be, why should it just be left to government representatives? Why not involve members of civil society in some of these decisions? Can we just leave it to the government to decide what to block? You know, the other important aspect of this is that there is no, there are sites that have been blocked, and if you're trying to access them, you just get an error. There's no notification that these sites have been blocked. So today, there could be hundreds and thousands of sites blocked, but we don't know about whether they've been blocked or not.
Right, and in fact, something like this has happened in China, though, of course, with the most important website out there, the search engine Google itself faced so. But let's also bring in Kim onto this. Kim, in many ways, you know, people like you and many other celebrities use blogging and some of the sites to their advantage. At the end of the day, it's a great tool to reach out to people by minimizing intermediaries in a different sense altogether.
Exactly. I think blogging, and everyone would agree, it's a fantastic marketing tool. I mean, you make something your universe and you build a community around it. And the most exciting thing is that your fans immediately are accessible to you. So whether you're hot right now, whether your film is out, or whether your shows are happening, or whether you're down and out and quiet, your fans still have that contact with you. Then you can hype up what your show's about, what your film's about.
So there's a material impact, you think, of something like this on directly into what, whether it's popularity, whether it's about, you know, actually eventually on people's ability to make money because your ability to reach out is drastically brought down.
I think celebrities still have it relatively easy because we're sort of well known, and anyway people are going to connect with us. But what's even better are emerging artists. Now, when you're a musician or an actor or a model and you're putting your work up there and you're getting your friends to like it, you're getting other people to like it, you're building a fan club, and then you're almost sort of established even before you're signed on with a big agency or with a music label or with a big director. I think that is really empowering, and that's what's super amazing about social media today.
Right. Let's get in Pranesh in here as well. Pranesh, you know, just to play the devil's advocate here, at one level you could argue that the government has a right to control some of the content that's going around in some of these blogs. Some of them could be potentially a security risk, potentially, you know, there could be worries of terrorism and whatnot. To some extent, do you think this concern is legitimate?
Sure, of course, but the problems are manifold. One, through these regulations, what the government's trying to control basically is not just intermediaries located in India. So, as you know, the Information Technology Act has extraterritorial applicability. So it's applicable throughout the world, regardless of where the servers is located. So as long, for instance, as there's one Indian user, then all websites all across the world, all ISPs all across the world will have to, put up this notice that the Indian government is seeking to get them to put up, right?
And that's not going to be good news for anyone, because it sort of spreads the word around the internet that, you know, India, the democracy that the world talks about, is not open to this sphere. A quick word from you, Nikhil, in terms of what could be the impact of this in terms of just the sheer numbers, in terms of what revenues on a story like this. We're talking of millions and billions of dollars getting impacted for people to do business online.
No, that only happens when there is a large-scale block taking place. But I'm looking at it from the perspective of an individual business owner. My blog is my business, and if I get blocked, I'm done. And that's true of many other businesses that face the same issue. See, I don't expect there to be a mass-scale block, but if you do get blocked, what's your recourse? How do you really approach? Whom do you approach for getting that block removed? How do you represent yourself? And to whom do you represent yourself? For a lot of small businesses, small developers in this country, it's just one shot you're being taken out, and you never even get to know why that's happened. It could more than the billions of dollars that could be impacted. It's about the large number of small businesses that could be impacted by this, in case someone decides to use this the wrong way.